Morgan dollars, oh my. But one of the fun categories is some of the branch mints. And the only Southern Mint, New Orleans, put out some beauties. We picked up a roll of each of these three coins. Look at the pristine quality. And finally, yes, they're back in stock. We're looking at the years 1898, 1899, and 1900. Kind of the end of the era on New Orleans minted Morgan dollars. The Morgan dollar itself started in 1878 and went all the way forward until 1904, and then again in 1921, 28 years. But New Orleans started a year late. That would be 1879. And then they ended in 1904. The mint closed in 1909. So these are some of the coins towards the end of their reign as the primary minter of coins for the Midwest and the expansion in this country. Now again, these are uncirculated vintage originals, where my competition is significantly north. We're looking at 149, 155, 175, respectively. Look at our price tonight. I was talking to somebody at the last show, actually in Pittsburgh. And he goes, you know, you're the only network left that sells individual Morgans for under $100. And the answer is I never looked at it that way. But again, it's our middle name, value, and we're all about collectors. You know, I was a paper boy in the 60s. My grandfather got me interested in this, and I've been fortunate to say this is what I do for a living. I get to talk about coins and hunt down coins, like Raiders of the Lost Ark coin style. It's nothing but fun stuff. And then I get to talk to you guys about it and go over all the details. I mean, there's nothing better. But when you look at the popularity index, which is always part of anything, right? I mean, there's a gazillion cars that have been made in the last 100 years, but why is the 57 Chev always seem to be the one people gravitate towards versus the Goats or the Packards or any of the other beautiful pieces that are out there? So when you look at popularity, they did a survey in 2017, the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint. What's the most popular coin of all time? The 92 Columbus. I like the wheat cents. I like the large cents. I like the bust half dollars, etc. Do you know the Morgan dollar had more votes than all the other denominations and designs added together? Doesn't surprise me, but again, that just tells you the popularity. And I think part of it is this. The silver was the Comstock lode, the big silver find out west, and the westward expansion began. And then we had the gold rush right after that, right? All in the same time frame. We introduced a brand new silver dollar with our silver. The Bland-Allison Act brought this forward, and now we have the Morgan dollar series. We have Philadelphia's on the East Coast, San Francisco's on the West Coast. They made them every year. The Southern Mint, New Orleans, 26 years. We even had the Carson City Mint in the middle of the Wild West for 13. But it was that, just that love of the big silver dollar. 38.1 millimeters. I mean, these coins are 125 years old, and they look that gorgeous. Again, original rolls, as I referenced, which means we got 20 of each for tonight's chat. Now, something to also think about is what? The heightened awareness of the Morgan dollar really came for the 100th anniversary in 2021. And if you were with us back then, you know how much fun that was. That hunt was a hunt. And it was one that we got frustrated because on May 24th, they launched the CC and the O, and it sells out in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and it's gone. And then we don't get coins until November. And there's just yeah, right? And then they bring it out this year again, but only the Philadelphia on uncirculated coins, only the San Francisco on proofs. They increased the mintage to 275 and 400 respectively because 175,000 wasn't enough. Well, you know that 2021 with 175,000 of them that were struck and sold out in 3 minutes? You can't touch it for under $250 today. And there's 175,000 of them that were made just a couple of years ago. This one, these three, were brought forward 125 years ago. This is the one that all the talk today is because of this coin and these mints being out there doing what they do. And thankfully for all of us, there was a steward, somebody put these aside, because the one thing people forget is 1918, we had the Pittman Act. And the Pittman Act was helping raise funds for the Allies towards the end of World War I and the funding of World War I. And we did this by melting our Morgan's silver dollars at over a 60% clip. So if we made 10, we melted 6. They just didn't tell us what 6. Now with population reports, even though these are not certified coins, we can get an idea what is or what isn't. You don't have to be at a show every weekend and not find an 1899 to know there's not that many of them out there, etc. And then the world just evolved. We like it big or go home, right? Well, the silver coins, this is the largest period. Now let's regroup on New Orleans, right? So we have the Southern Mint, the only Southern Mint, the Big Easy. Above the D and O and dollar is the O mint mark right there for New Orleans. They made 26 coins. The last coin they made in the silver dollar was 1904. So the 26 made, these are towards the end, right? Look at the quality. Wow. Great. I mean, they're called its nickname, New Orleans, is the hand-me-down mint because they handed down, right, equipment from the East Coast, the West Coast, etc. over its tenure as a U.S. mint. The challenge is just the strike versus the volume of coins being pushed out. We've talked about that before. When you find originals that just have this blast white appearance, and you can tell they're all homogeneous in look. It's like the cheek is clean, the breast feathers detail, the open fields, right? That's a 125-year-old coin, and it looks better than a silver eagle struck last year. Let's put a 1-minute clock up, guys. Getting down to the last 10. If you are visiting us via the web, that will be avccoins.com. See, I got them this time. And it's in your shopping cart. This isn't going to last but a few more minutes. And I don't want to lose a sale. I'd love to have you have this. Push it to your shopping cart, lock it down. And if I or Alex or Allison can entice you with anything else as the show goes on, you want to call back to say, hey, I got an order in the system, we'll find it for you, and we'll just add to it. We don't want anybody to lose out on something. Happens every show, and that is, I tried to push the order button, and I can't get it to work. And then Hunter or one of the gang will say, well, what are your products in your shopping cart? And they're going to say, well, that one's sold out, and that one's sold out. That's why it won't process. X them out, and it'll go through fine. When we see it happening, we're going to let you know. Because again, we want no unhappy customers. We want you being part of the family, and we're going to price it to do so. Because as I referenced, $149, $159, $175, respectively, on these 3 coins. And we're at $89.95 as a your choice. That's shopping the right way.